Welcome to another video yet again. So I'm going to be talking about POLA Power Inc. And I'm also going to be talking about the overall market, how I've been playing it, and how I plan to continue playing it. So drop a quick like for me on this video. If you are enjoying this content, it does really help me out. I have nothing at all to sell you guys, and these alerts are completely free. And make sure you have the notification bell turned on because these alerts are extremely time sensitive. So right now, POLA is trading at $3.07. So I did actually call this on last video, and I still think this one does have potential. And what does this show you on the chart? Just considering we had less than 1 million in volume the day after I made that upload, this one did go from $2 all the way, I believe, to $4, or it opened up around $4 very quickly, and then ultimately came back down, and since then has been steadily climbing back up. It just shows you that when volume does come in, this one can go parabolic. So looking at the float is sitting at 1.7 million shares. Market cap is sitting at $7 million. So whenever this one did actually spike down, it was completely manipulated by shorts. So we're going to talk about something very important. So currently 9% of the float is being shorted, and there are currently 0 shares to borrow on IBKR. So it's just showing that the shares available to borrow, the supply is getting very thin and shares are harder to get. So, 8% short interest for a 1 million share float, or a float under 2 million shares, is a pretty big amount and can basically cause a ton of buying pressure when these shorts are forced to cover. Obviously, we do need a lot of volume to have those parabolic moves, so that's something to factor in, but we could still see a pretty good push up with POLA Power. And something else to realize is that POLA Power Inc. has been providing DC generators to the U.S. military since 1989. They do have, they are backed by the government and the Department of Defense, and they have specialized in custom power systems requiring small quantities with fast delivery, and their customers need the lightest weight, most compact size with the highest reliability to meet their mission goals. So obviously their customers have very high expectations, and POLA Power is delivering the best products possible and the most cost-effective solutions as well. Looking on their website, this is a pretty massive statement. It does say right here that the U.S. Department of Defense described their product as the most advanced generator in production. So they're talking about a tiny $7 million market cap company, an energy company that, is U.S. based. All their products are manufactured and produced in the United States, which is also very positive. And another reason I really like this play is because their last 2 quarters, they did produce record-breaking revenue and they were profitable both of those quarters. So for the last quarter that came out, which was Q3, keep in mind you always have 3 zeros to these numbers, but they did over $4.9 million in total revenue with $13,000 in net profit for Q2. The quarter before that, they did $4.7 million in total revenue, or just around that number, and had over $500,000 in net income, which is pretty impressive considering these are the biggest revenue numbers they have had in years, and it's the first profitable quarters they have had in years as well. So something is brewing. We'll have to see if their numbers continue to stay consistent like this quarter over quarter. And that's something I'll really be watching. And they do have customers including AT&T, Verizon, Motorola, T-Mobile, Ford, Volkswagen. The list goes on. Raytheon right here, just under a $200 billion market cap company. They're working very closely with Toyota, Mazda, Alpha. The list goes on. So just considering that they do have clients including the military, the government, the Department of Defense, all of these big names I just talked about, it just shows that this company does have potential, and their products are, must be very important and the best in their class. So that's just something to think about. You can see right here that in this application, POLA Power Inc. is supplying DC generators to Raytheon for its Hydra vehicle, which is seen right here. and Raytheon is sitting around a $170 billion market cap. Another major client they do have. And you can see this giant aircraft right here is called the U-2 aircraft that is currently still being used in critical missions today. POLA is proud to have contributed its engineering and production skills in support of this mission. So POLA designed and manufactured a DC ground power unit for this aircraft that combines power and system diagnostics. And you can see on this airship, POLA provided its 6250 alternator and controls, which were mated to a custom-built lightweight engine. So presently, there are a number of military programs worldwide that are testing POLA APUs for their mobile requirements. So at any time, we could get news about, some new contracts or new orders and stuff like that. They do create power for electric cars, telecommunications, data centers, military equipment, and marine vessels that have changed for the 21st century but are still being powered by 19th century technology. So they are continuously adapting and improving their technology. Always good to see. Like I did say, their products are designed, made, and manufactured in California, made in the USA. And over the last 30 plus years, their products are well represented in over 100 countries. And they are leading the industry for DC generators, hybrid power systems, and custom power solutions. And they do work to customize their power solutions to their customer needs, like I did mention with some of their military contracts or products they do have on military equipment. Looking on the daily time frame, it looks like the 50-day moving average is kind of acting as support. We do have that nice hammer candlestick. And one of the biggest resistance levels right now is this 307 level, because that's right where the 50-day moving average is sitting. And this is a major resistance level. If we do hold over that, it would be pretty bullish. Something to realize, it is Sunday. It's about 7 p.m. right now, and Bitcoin is crashing. Futures are down, and the overall market has been bleeding, mainly due to uncertainty with tariffs, bad economic data, and stuff like that. But if Bitcoin does close under 80,000, there's a lot of room to the downside. We're already under the 200-day moving average. And speaking of the 200-day moving average, if you look at SPY right here, we are... it is acting as support. Last Friday, we wicked under here, but we did bounce off that strong 566 support just around that level. And I believe on QQQ, we did close under the 200 MA. And on the weekly, we do have the 50-day moving average that can act as support. But the overall market is bleeding, guys. In my portfolio, I am sitting on, I'm mainly sitting on cash, not going heavy until the market settles down. And even with penny stocks, now we did see GV have a multi-day run, but overall the small cap market is very slow right now, and it's nothing like we saw in the last few months of 2024. So I am being very selective, not going as heavy, and that's just how I'm playing the market, especially with large caps. So looking at Bitcoin, it is crashing, entering a very critical zone. So, doesn't look too good right now, the overall market, and it's very choppy. We do have, the biggest day. We have no Fed speakers this week, but the biggest day to watch is Wednesday morning. We do have CPI data coming out that morning. Obviously, that will dictate the rest of the week. Obviously, anything Trump says will dictate future movement with these stock prices. So even if you have the perfect TA, the best technical analysis on these charts, you can still get burned. So right now you really need to be cautious, size down, or at least that's what I'm doing. There's still penny stocks that are going parabolic. It's just overall the sentiment is pretty slow. Just pay attention to the economic data. Anything going on in the news or with Trump, with these tariffs, any new changes with that, any new deals, and really, guys, just sitting on a lot of cash. Still watching plays, still going to make some videos. So we have CPI data coming out Wednesday, followed by PPI data Thursday. So that's 2 big days this week. And just pay attention to the overall news. And that's all I have for today's video. If you did make it this far in the video, I really do appreciate you. And I will see you on the next one.